Hello guys, good morning and welcome to benzblog. So for today's video, we're going to talk about the ATS. This is what we call here as ATYS PM. There's a lot of series on this ATS, or let's say ATYS. So maybe you are not, familiar with it. So this one I will give you some introductions about this ATS, and I will give you the functions and how to configure this type of ATYS equipment. So actually this one is our module. Okay, so later on I will give you the rest of the explanations for this and the wiring, how you can do the installations and the proper configurations for this type of ATS. So let's jump into our ATYS module. So okay guys, here is our ATYS equipment. So this one is automatic transfer switch equipment. So this one is indicated P here. Later on I will explain to you. There is a lot of type of this ATS, so maybe you are not familiar with this P and a lot of a series of this ATYS. So I will show you first this the total ATS panel. So these are our ATS Somcomec ATYS PM ATS. Okay, so let's do direct to our type of the module, so you are going to understand what type of this module. So here you can see this ATS family products range up to here you can see it is ranges to the smallest to the biggest ampere of this ATYS. So here you can see we have the ATYS is DS or small gensets, ATYS S RTSA. So S is for the small genset. It is around 40 to 125 ampere. So here is our 125 amperes to 3200 amperes. So these are the families. The ATYS P means P is the power genset management. We have here the ATYS G, which is simple genset management, and we have here the ATYS T means there is some transformer, and we have here the ATYS D for indicate the RTSA DPS, and we have here the ATYS R, and this one is RTSE and RTSE. This one is almost same model. So here let's go for our 40 amps to 160 amps. So here is also we have what we call the ATYS P. So this is the one we are going to talk about it today. So this is the evolve genset management. So I think this one is more advanced for the rest of it. So I think there is some features that is not included for the rest of the family of this module. So we have here the ATYS G, so M, so simple genset management, and we have here the ATYS T M, transformer building management, and we have here the ATYS D M. Okay, so at least you have an idea what type of ATYS we have and those families of this ATYS. So let's go from the specifications and the features of this module. So I will show you first here. These are only the installations, how they can do it, this one. So let's go to the functions button and the indications or lead indicator for this, so at least you have an idea what are those functions every each of the lead, if what is are the alarms or indications between this generator or this ETS, I mean. Okay, so I'm just searching from here where are those module here. So I think this one, it's not, so just give me some time to search it for you, so at least we knows about it, because that are important. So for now, since we are not yet find those here, so let's take a look for our technical data sheets for this one. So this TYS P is can be work on the frequencies up to 50 and 60 hertz, so from the range of 40 to 160 ampere. So the terminal's current temperatures is 40 degree Celsius, and the current, this one is 40 60. So it's data sheets, you can see if you are by this ATYS, it's because it's already there, and you can just read it, the manual, so you are aware on what you are doing or what you are going to install, how much the current of your loads, so at least you can or aware of the situations you have to do. So since I couldn't find yet so these are only the specifications and the connections for this ATS. So I will search it first, those buttons and functionality, so at least we are aware on that. So just give me time about it. Where are those before we go to the wiring connections and the functionality? So okay, so here are the operations and the presentations of the product interface. Interface means what you are seeing and how you do the configurations based on what you are going to see on the module. So number one is our availability sources. Okay, sources means from the utility and from your generator. So these are the lights indicators. Okay, so from here the green leads is indicating whether the source 1 or the source 2, or it's in the 0 or in the middle. So lead it source available and lead it off source is unavailable. So it here it's stated that if the lights indicating, that is the means that there is availability of your sources, and if it is the light is off, so meaning it is off, means it's not available your sources. Okay, so let's go from the number 2 positions of the switches. Okay, so here is your indicator for your switch, if it is close to for your commercial side, or in the generator side, or in the utility side, or your generator side. Okay, so lead it is the position number 1, and lead it 2 is position for your number 2. If in case that is a yellow lead, or it is in the 0 position. Okay, if the little I'm sorry for my sometimes it is not working properly. If there is the yellow indicators splashing, so meaning you are in the 0 positions, not in the 2 or in the 1 position. So here is our number 3. Here is our number 3. Okay, this here. This is the test control modules, or the test control mode, I mean. So yellow leads for the tests on load and the test offload switch are linked to the test mode selections between the facilitate selections. Okay, so if you can see the yellow light, so either you are in the tests or positions or in the test of positions. Okay, so lead number 4, so over here, so that is indicating the lead test button. So almost same with the test mode. Okay, so illuminates the lead to test their operations. Okay, if the light is coming here, so meaning you are in the test positions also. So we go from the number 5 mode button. So here is your number 5. This is the mode button. So test mode selection. So what is the mode you're going to do? If you are going to go from the voltage, you're going to go with the frequencies and the status of the commercial side, or on the voltage side, or in the generator side. So you can see it here, what are those modes you are going to go in. So number 6 is our operating mode. It is or either auto or manual condition. So yellow lead for the menu mode active. So if there is some yellow indicators there, lead is flashing, or it's having the light is on, so meaning you are in the menu mode. So if the green lead for the auto active, so if you can see, if there is some green indicator, so meaning there is some functions that are available there, so either in the auto position. Okay, so let's go from our number 7. So I will search it here, number 7. This is for your capacitor charge indicator. So it's over here. So what are these here? So return to 0 capacitor charge when the indicator flashes. Return to the 0 functions and ability. Okay, so if there is some lights that indicates from here, so meaning you are in the charge positions and you are in the 0 contact. There is no contact between the 1 and your 2 position. Okay, so we have here the number 8, which is the lead to indicate the status of the product control fault. Open and close to the auto or the manual cover after clearing all faults. So meaning these lights here, if there is some fault happen to your ATYS, either this one is from your commercial side, or either this one is from your generator sides, between either the voltage, the frequency, or there is something happening wrong between your sensing, because they are only monitoring the sensing, the voltage of your, what are those status that is happening, which is not already in the proper voltage, or there is some problem. So there is some faults happening on the, because here we are talking about the voltage and the speed, the frequency of your commercials and your generators. So any of the faults will come the lights out here, so meaning there is some problem. Okay, so number 9, which is the power supply lead. So where is the number 9 here? So here is your number 9. So that is if the light is indicated for you, so meaning there is already a power supply on it. So the light should be the green, so always off the power supply, soft error to either indicate the power operations lead to the screen. Always it product power supply on. Okay, so should we have the power supply always. So over here from the manual operations, okay, so I think this one, the options to padlock using the 1/8 mm maximum padlock. So you can use by 1/8 mm if you need to padlock this one. This one is usually using if you are some maintenance or something in the manual I think position for this functions. So automan cover, operations cover, switch, manual mode. So here is there is some cover, you need to open it so you can see the Allen key and the insertions for your Allen key, so you can do the manual transfer for this ATYS. Okay, so you need to do first the manual before you can do the manual transferring for this ATYS. Okay. So over here is for your extra module you can install for this. So okay, so if you need some more options for this ATYS, you can buy these options, so you can do and you can see the monitoring additional for the functions of your ATYS. Okay, so here the instructions you can see for this manual operations. Okay, so let's jump into the configurations for this ATYS. Okay, so let's see over here. So front key navigations and general informations, software versions, display presentations. Okay, let's a little bit jump in this one so you can see the okay. So number one, if you are in the display presentations, number one is stated here your voltage status, and you just scroll it down because there is some scrolling from left to right, up, down, and enter. So these are the buttons here you can see. So these are the navigations you are going to do if you want to see the status of the module. Okay, these are the measures, the voltage and the line to neutral voltage, line to line voltage, your frequency. We have here the line to line also voltage. So you can see here you have the two status for your voltage and for your frequency. So meaning you have a status from your commercial side and for your generator side, because we are doing the two configurations for this, both for your generator and for your commercial side. That's why you have the two voltage and the two frequency to line to neutral voltage. Okay, so maybe you are, why it is two? Because we have two status from here. Okay, so number two is the timer. So you just press if you are facing with the controller, so you press the right, so you will go to the number two, which are the timers. So over here, after that in the timer, you just scroll it down so you can see these are the symbols for the timer over here. For the first one, the second is for your 60 seconds timer, and the second is 2FT, so meaning the 60-second timer also. So all about here we will show you what are those functions, the rest of the configurations about it. So I've just show you those timers over here. You can see on the status, if you scroll it in the right side, you can see also the 3 events and the cycle. So let's go furthermore from our status, or what is you can see in the module. So here you can see the under voltage sources and the under voltage sources number 2, under voltage sources number 1, because we have the two sources available on it. So what are the status of these two? You can see it here. Okay, so let's go for the configurations. So we are make more understanding about it. Okay, so so these are only the error message from here. So I want to go from the configurations, this one, so at least we can see. Okay, network setup menu. So only here you can see the type of the functionalities is available on this kind of Atys P. So here you can see we have here the M&G and M-M. So these are the availability functions in your Atys. So if you have the buttons from here, so meaning this one is available functions on your Atys. Okay, so I want to go from the configurations, but I couldn't find it yet from here. So okay, so let's start from here. So this one is your priority network. So if you go from the priority, it's always in the priority number 1 if you're doing the Atys. But you can also use no priority, or you do the priority for the depends on the situations of what you are installing or what you need in the site. So you can reconfigure what are those priorities you needed in your applications. So over here you can do the network priority 1 or priority 2 and or no priority. So adjustment is either 1 or 2, and for the default functions for this Atys P is we are in the priority number 1, which is meaning our priority is in the commercial side, which is like here in the DIWA, or you're always at the priority number 1. Okay, so only the backup is your generator, which is your number 2. So over here, so retrans means the automatic transfer inhibit. Okay, so normally close is automatically transferred to the priority sources. Okay, so if you put it no, so automatic transfer to the priority sources. If you put it yes, it is valid, must be pressed to execute to the return. Okay, so meaning you are doing manually controlling the Atys. Okay, so over here is the adjustment range is no and yes only. So the default from here is no. Okay, so here in the return 0, so if in case the source is failure, the product is automatically switched to 0. So if there is some failure, if there is some alarms on the Atys, it will not close either in the number 1 or in the number 2. It will goes into 0 positions. Okay, so it is in the safe side, because any of the problem of the Atys, so meaning you don't want to close either in the generator or in the commercial side, so they will stay at the 0 positions. Okay, so if you have to change that one, you just press either no, the product remains positions, source is lost, and if yes, the functions will activated if there is either the source number 2 and it is whatever the reserve in your controller. So whatever the scene, if there is some commercial or the generator is active, so it will switch on there if you are manually override it. Okay, so we have here the second trip. So here is functions make the possible to wait the power reserve to become available sources. So they are waiting for the availabilities of your sources. So the adjustment for this either yes or no, or in the default function this one is no. Okay, so this is a lot here. So they have the mode auto. So auto mode force is inspired to cover not being closed. So, okay, because being not closed because they are waiting for the sources always. What are those available sources? If it is stable or there is some problem, so they are always looking for the sources on that. So the default functions of this is no. And let's go from the CNT RST. So this is the switch over counter reset. Number of the operations returns to no after reset. Okay, if you are sitting on this, if you are want to back to the main menu, so just put it and no, so you are redivert to the original menu. So the default this one is no. So we have here the backlight. If you are going to adjust the backlight, so you are going to do the calibrations on it. Either this one is off, on, or always on the light mode. So we have here during the operation sequence, and then it turns off after 30 seconds. Oh, there is also an options if you need to have a timer for your light to indicate. Okay, so time to close the light or time to what is the configurations you need to do for this backlight. So it's always there, depends on the time you're going to sit to. Okay, so the default for this is INT. So there is the time limit only. So there is 30 seconds active. So the code for this ETYSP is 1000 if you are need to modify the configurations or the program for this ETYSP. So you just enter the 1000, which is the code, so you can do the configurations for this program. Okay, so in the error code you just put 00, so modifying the input codes in operating mode. Okay, so you just enter 00. Okay, so so these are the connections only. ABC. If you are in the ROT references. So I want to go from the set points for our voltage over here. Okay, so if you scroll down for our navigations key, if you are in the configurations mode, so you can see the number 2, which is the volt level. Here you can adjust the voltage configurations, how many percent when they interact the module, if there is something wrong from the commercial side or for your generator side. So these are the set points and the default set points for this ETYSP. So from the over voltage, from your U sensing, this one is the default from this configurations is 110%, but you can adjust this one into 102 to 130%. This one is for your sources number 1. So from your over voltage HYS, or the high trace for this one, is around 110% default, and you can adjust the range to 101 to 119%. This is the ranges for this, for your adjustment. Okay, so let's go from the under voltage. So here, this is still same from your sources number 1. So the default here from our, again, the default from our under voltage is 85%, and you have the ranges of 60 to 98% for your calibration. Okay, from our under voltage hysteresis, so here is the range 61 to 99%, and the default configurations for this is 95%. So around here from our phase unbalanced threshold is the range is 0 to 30%, but the default this one is 0. So these are the you can see in the module the UNB, and these are the corresponding meaning on that. So UNB meanings that is the hysteresis unbalance, or the hysteresis unbalance thresholds, and here is the hysteresis unbalance detections. Is we have the range of 01 to 29%, and the default is 1% only. So let's go from our sources number 2. So let's go first for the over voltage. So same as the sources number 1, we have here the range of 102 to 130%, and the default configurations on that is 115%. All are the same from your sources number 1 and 2, and the default configurations and the ranges is all the same. There is no differences. But if you want to change the configurations, you can change the configurations as well, and you just follow the range for that in order to have the correct configurations, and depends on how the applications you are going to do in the site and the load type of your in the site, what type of the load I mean. Okay, so let's go from other configurations. We don't need to talk about this, because this one only for the graph and the positions of your ETYS. So where are the rest of the configurations? So let's go from the frequency level. So let's a little bit faster for this, because I don't have more time on it. So if you scroll down, so it's override to the it's going to your number 3, which is the frequency level. So over here, let's go from the sources number 1. So over here is our over frequency. So here you can adjust the source number 1 to range to 101 to 120, and the default this one is 105, and also the hysteresis frequency is 100.5 to 119%, and the default is 103%. So we are going here to the under frequency. So we have here the 60 to 99%, and the default for that one is 95%. So we have here the under frequency hysteresis. So we have the range of 60.5 and to 99.5%, and the default is 97. Okay, so we have here the source number 2, which is same as the configurations and the default ranges over here. So there is no differences on that. So meaning it is even you are not change the configurations, it will work this generator or this ETYS I mean. So if you have the sources, so it will automatically detect if in case if it is normal, or if it in case there is some fault on this status. Okay, so just only change the voltage settings, because it will monitor the voltage status, depends on your voltage output on your site or in your country. So you have to change only the voltage and the frequency in order to work on that. So the rest of the configurations, it's not necessary to adjust because it is already in the correct configurations as well. But if you need to do some a little bit more sensitive and more accurate configurations, you can adjust, by the way. So let's go over here from our timers. So if you scroll down, it will goes to number 4, which is the timer value. So the timer value is for your sources number 1 and for your sources number 2. So it's always, they have the 2 configurations for that, because we are always at the 2 sides of your sources. So here you can see our IFT, meaning this one is the source number 1 or the lowest time delay. Okay, so here is our default 3 seconds, and you can adjust this one from 0 to 3600 seconds. Okay, these are applicable on the MG and the MM type of the Atys. Okay, so we have here the IRT, which is the source number 1 restorations. Mean if you see the T, IFT means source number 1 and the timer, and if you see the IRT, which is the source restorations delay. Okay, so from here we can adjust to 0 to 3000 seconds, and the default for this one is 180 seconds. It's still applicable on the M-G and M-M Atys. Okay, so let's go from our 10T. So meaning this one is return to 0 time delay sources. Okay, if there is some fault between your sources, it goes back to the 0 position. So these are the delays for this, and the default configurations time for this is 2 seconds, and you can adjust this one to the maximum of 0 to 10 seconds. So around here from the sources number 2 configurations, the same configurations, I think. Let me check first. Okay, so this on the sources number 2, or either the generator sources. So this one are the configurations on your sources number 2. So 2FT, meaning this one is the source time delay. So here is our ranges. This one is 0 to 60 seconds, which is far beyond from our 1 sources, which is you can adjust to 3600 seconds. Okay, so over here let's go back to the sources number 2, which you can put it only to 60 seconds, and the default this one is 3 seconds only, and this one is applicable only to the Atys, which is M-M Atys. So it's not applicable on the M-G Atys. Okay, so 2RT. So these are the source number 2 restorations, which is you can set this one to 0 to 3600 seconds, and the default this one is 5 seconds, and also this one is not applicable for the M-G. It's only applicable for your M-M Atys. Okay, so those are the configurations for the sources number 2, which is here we have also the restorations time is 3000 to 3600 seconds, and the default this one is 5, same as the 280. So the stability time is also, you can have the range of 3600 seconds, and the default this one is 5 seconds. So the genset calling down is the indicator from here is 2CT. If you see this one 2CT means this one is the genset calling time delay. So these are the sources number 2, which is you can do the ranges is 0 to 600 seconds and 180 seconds, the default configurations for this. And this one is applicable only to the MG, and it's not applicable for your M-M. Okay, so over here is our return to 0 time delay. For the sources number 2 is you can adjust this one to range to 0 to 10 seconds, and the default is 10, and both are applicable for your M and G Atys and M-M Atys also. So let's go furthermore. This one here is for your genset starting timeout, so it can be adjusted to 0 to 600 seconds, and the default is 30 seconds. So let's go from here, from the ODT, which is the minimum of time delay. So we have here is you can be adjusted to 0 to 20 seconds, and the default is 3 seconds, and both are applicable for the MG and the M-M Atys. So we have here the TOT, means the on-load test duration. So meaning you can do the configuration this one, or the ranges is to 10 to 1800 seconds, and here is the default is UNL, so meaning unlimited, I think. Yeah, it is only applicable from your MG Atys, but M-M is not applicable on that. And here is our TFT, or offload tests time delay. So this one is also unlimited, so meaning you are going to do the configurations if you do these things. Okay. So there is no time, it's unlimited. Okay, so let's go from the E-1T. So here, onload external operation showcase requests time to start. So these are the range on this is 0 to 1000 seconds, and the default is 5 seconds. So there is still a lot of the configuration you need to do if you have doing this Atys, but as I said, no need to adjust this one because this one is already configured correctly. If you need only to adjust is if in case if the applications is in the hospital or in the army sites, so you can derive those configurations on it. So how about this one is the digital input. If you are going to monitor the status of your 1 and 2 status, these are the inputs are configurable, so whatever the functions you need to, so these are the inputs you can do the configurations. And the default this one is all at NO or normally open configurations. Okay, so I can go for it. So these are no need to change from here. So I'll just check the important things. So not necessary to adjust this one from here also. So let it the default configurations on that. So it's not will be more complicated and problematic during the time of installations and the tests for this Atys. As I told you, just do the configurations for your voltage and the frequency and your both of your source number 1 and 2. That is the priority to adjust in order to work on this Atys. The rest is not necessary for the adjustment. Okay, so I think it's not necessary to do from here. This is only for the test mode. If you need to test offload, to test onload, if you test and close the breaker for the sources number 1, to test the sources number 2, and if it is working properly, it's over here. This is all the functions from here. So that is not much complicated. This is very simple because you just only press the button over there that is already indicated on that functionality for the test options. So only the little bit difficulties is to do the configurations because this one is not like you can see in the computer, you have to do it manually for this Atys. But the latest versions, you can do the configurations through the laptop, but in this Atys P configurations, you can do it manually on this. Okay, so I'm searching for the troubleshooting, I think, so at least we can see what are those necessary to do for your troubleshooting. Let me see, I will search it from here if we can find it. So this ATY is applicable for the 3-piece or single piece configurations also. So I will search on that so we can see. I need to see the wiring applications on how we can install, if in case you have to do it in the single piece. These are the applications only for the accessories. If you want to add some accessories on this is the installations how you're going to do on this. It's very simple, right? So I am searching on the okay, so here is our Atys positions, and I will show you the load side and the sources for this one, where you can connect the sources number 1 and where you can connect the sources number 2, and for your remote control. Okay, so why I cannot find it? So okay, so this is the source number 1 and these are the source number 2, and here is our load side. Okay, so this is the wiring for your Atys. Okay, so here over, I want the 3-piece, I don't want this okay. So here is our connections of control and command the circuits. So in the top, if you are facing in your Atys, in the top you can see the load side, where you can get the jumper and connect from 2, that's 2, 4, that's 4. So just follow the numbering so you can connect, and it will not make some. I'm not yet punched. Come. So you can connect here correctly, so just follow this numbering so you can connect those load side. So your sources number 1, or for your commercial side, is our sources number 1, so where you can connect over here for your commercial power, and your generator is for your sources number 2, it's over here. Okay, so now is from your auxiliary or your extra module, you can install from here to RG. You can buy additional for your remote monitoring, I think. Yeah. So you can see if it is close, and the sources number 1 and sources number 2, and also this one is the RG 485 for your monitoring. So here is your contact for your auxiliary over here. So here is from your programmable contact, so you can connect over here. So more on that, I cannot find the remote connections for this. I know this one is 73 and 74, the connections for your generator. So this is the remote connections from your generator in order to work on the auto mode conditions. So if there is some failure or the Atys is command to your generator to start, these are the connections on your remote control. So Okay, we are all done about this one, so I need to finish these vlogs today. And if you need some questions or doubts, just comment down below to our um, YT channel, so I can also see and reply to you what are those necessary things we can talk on. Okay, so once again, uh, thank you for watching. And also I don't have time for explain more about this one, because I need to start my job also. So see you again to our next vlogs and to our next topic. And thank you so much for watching. Say bye bye and see you again.